So Lascelles is going to remain captain for the season. I know a lot of people aren't happy, but could it be an absolute masterstroke from Eddie Howe? Welcome back to Black and White Banter, everyone. If you are new to Black and White Banter, make sure you drop down, give us a like, give us a subscribe. If you like my opinion, you'll get notified when I post another video. And get us on Facebook and Instagram. There is content on there every single day. Never normally serious, but there's always something on there. So the big talking point, one of the big talking points alongside the friendly games, obviously the defeat against Mainz on Monday night, was the news that broke that Lascelles is going to be the captain for the forthcoming season. He's going to remain as captain. Now, a lot of people have been disappointed to hear that. I think there's a lot of Newcastle fans out there who see Lascelles as the weak point in the defence, centre-back wise, me included, now, especially now that we've signed such a high-profile player in Sven Botman. Dan Burns ahead of him, Fabian Schär's ahead of him, Sven Botman now would be ahead of him, and you could even argue there's some Newcastle fans maybe who prefer Fernandez as well, who's never really had a look in under Eddie Howe, but who knows. But one thing I've always said about Lascelles is we have to accept that he must be a good leader. Eddie Howe's obviously got a lot of respect for him as club captain. He's always been in that role, and I think he is a leader behind the scenes and when he's on the field. Now, do I also agree that he's not the best in terms of just as a player it's himself, position-wise, comfort on the ball when he's actually playing the ball out from the back? Yes, I agree, probably is our weak point, and I think it's getting highlighted more and more since we've signed the likes of Dan Burn. I'm sure Botman will show it as well, and even in the friendly games, and I'm not looking into the friendly matches, I'm just not sure, and he looks the kind of, the first game against Munich, he got a yellow card in the first half, and I was just like, whoa, Lascelles is not looking great. So there's argument there for Trippier to be captain. I think he would be most Newcastle fans' first choice. He's an absolute leader, even at fullback. We've seen it since he signed for the club, whether it's travelling to games when he was injured to rally the boys on, whether it's talking from the sidelines, talking the rest of his defence through the match. He's a natural-born leader. He's been there, he's done it, he's won it. Won titles at Atletico Madrid, England international. He's passionate and he knows the game inside out. He's a next step above. He's one of our best players for me by some distance. One of the best defenders to wear a Newcastle shirt. He's barely even worn one. So he would be an obvious choice. Dan Burn, you could maybe argue, Geordie boy, centre-back. If he was to play most minutes this season, who knows? Because I think Botman and him are going to be going to the same position. There's a lot of players there. But I think this is a masterstroke by Eddie Howe. And hear me out on this one. So Eddie Howe knows that maybe changing the captaincy is going to cause a bit of friction in the camp. Lascelles is not going to be happy about it. That's like me being a manager in an office job for 3 years and suddenly being stripped back down to a normal employee. It doesn't happen in the workplace, and that's essentially what you'd be doing to Lascelles. You'd be stripping him of his pride, basically saying you're not going to be playing very much, mate. There's better players around you now, and it's going to leave a bit of taste in a player who has been with us for 6 years now, 7 years. It's going to leave a bit of taste in his mouth. I think because Eddie Howe knows Lascelles, quite honestly, he's not going to play very much, because let's face it, he's not. He's not going to get in front of Dan Burn. He's not going to get in front of Botman. And he's not going to get in front of Schär, unless something goes on behind the scenes in training that he really, really puts in a shift and deserves that place in the team. I think Eddie Howe knows he doesn't have to upset the apple cart by changing captain, because there will always, generally, in his first 11, be another captain on the field, because Lascelles will be on the bench. So maybe Trippier might be backup captain. I think Shelvey currently has the armband under Lascelles at the moment. So he doesn't have to tinker with a decision like that, because he knows that whoever is vice captain is probably going to take the role more. So not only does Eddie Howe have a happy camp, a happy Lascelles, but also he has that new captain who he maybe envisions as being on the pitch and leading us a bit further. So I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie Howe changes, and it wouldn't be announced because vice captains are never normally announced, if he changes who his vice captain is. If he's going to start with Jonjo Shelvey from the first game, which is a high possibility, then Jonjo Shelvey might just keep that armband. But I think this is a masterstroke, and a lot of Newcastle fans on social media have not been happy to hear Lascelles is remaining captain. think about it another way. If he's not playing, somebody else will be leading the team week in, week out, and you don't have that awkward conversation and a bit of a bitter taste in, let's face it, Lascelles, great leader for us. He's captained us through a championship winning season under Benitez. He's captained us through a number of semi-successful seasons, bearing in mind what Ashley's actually provided us in terms of funds and platform to go off. Kept us up numerous years, and he has been a vocal point of that. So let's not get on his back too much just because we've got some new players in. So if he's happy, a new captain is on the field who's maybe better suited to that role in this new project moving forward, then I honestly think we've had an Eddie Howe Einstein moment here. And I think Eddie Howe knows that, and that's why there is going to be no change made to that captaincy. So I'm seeing this as nothing lost, nothing gained by this decision, because if he is not starting, there is going to be someone else filling that role. So I'm happy with that news, and it doesn't really affect things too much for me. But what I want to know is, what do you think about Lascelles being captain? Do you think he's going to start the season? Do you think he's still preferred off Eddie Howe? Or do you think with Botman, Byrne and Shah in front of him, even Fernandez, if he stays, maybe competition there, is he just way down the pecking line now? Or would you get rid of him? I want to know your thoughts in the comments, so please get down. And if you haven't already, drop us a subscribe, get us on Facebook and Instagram, and no doubt I'll see you on the next video as the transfer news just keeps coming thick and fast. How are you, lads?